The concept of curses, the expressed wish that misfortune befalls another person, has been around as far back as documented history has existed. For some, they're nothing more than the stuff of legends, but for others, it cost them those that they love. The curses I'm going to tell you about today were documented in their entirety. They've not only killed people, but the circumstances in which they occurred would make even the most skeptical person a believer. But I'll let you decide for yourself. Are these mere coincidences, or are they something more? These are 10 real-life curses that actually killed people. Number 1 is the 27 Club Curse. The 27 Club is the name given to a group of famous musicians who have all died at the young age of 27. Some well-known members of this club include Jim Morrison, Janis Joplin, Kurt Cobain, Brian Jones, Amy Winehouse, and of course, Jimi Hendrix. But that is far from all. There are in fact a total of 50 members of the 27 Club, dating as far back as 1892. The 27 Club continues to collect members to this day, with the most recent addition being a famous Bosnian pop singer named Sladana Guduris, who crashed her car and died in December of 2014. So if you're a musician and you're 27 or approaching the age of, good luck. Number 2 is the My Way Curse. The My Way Curse, also known as the My Way Killings, is a social phenomenon in the Philippines linked to the song My Way by Frank Sinatra. Oddly, since 2002, there have been an inordinate amount of deaths linked to this song, related to karaoke performances of the Sinatra classic. Now this almost sounds silly until you realize that news media outlets worldwide have documented and reported on this, including, of course, the Philippines themselves. Even the widely respected New York Times had to ask the question, are these killings the natural byproduct of the country's culture of violence, drinking, and machismo, or is there something more inherently sinister going on here? The problem became so bad that the majority of bars in the country had to actually remove the My Way song from their karaoke machines, and in fact, the song remains banned in many bars to this day. Number 3 is Otzi The Iceman's Curse. Otzi is an over 5,000-year-old mummy that was discovered encased within a glacier in the Otzi Alps in 1991. Now normally that would only be mildly creepy, except that since his discovery, all 7 people involved with discovering and examining Otzi have died under mysterious circumstances. One forensic pathologist died in a car crash while traveling to a world summit where he was going to give a talk on, you guessed it, Otzi. The man who initially discovered the frozen mummy disappeared for 8 days, only to be found dead after having fallen off a cliff. Another man who was part of the team was quoted in the news as saying, "The next thing you will say is that I will be next." He died 6 months later. Otzi's body and belongings are currently displayed in the South Tyrol Museum of Archaeology in Bolzano, Italy. It's open to the public, and yes, you yourself can go visit him, if you're feeling brave enough. Number 4 is Little Bastard, the Cursed Car. James Dean was a famous American actor, best known for his role in Rebel Without a Cause from 1955. His favorite car was his 1955 Porsche 550 Spyder, which he nicknamed Little Bastard. When he first saw it, fellow actor Sir Alec Guinness, best known for his role as Obi-Wan Kenobi in Star Wars, said that he felt that the car seemed sinister, and warned Dean that if he got in that car, he would be dead within a week. Literally 7 days later, James Dean was killed in a car wreck while driving that car. But the curse did not stop there. Since then, many people who have come into contact with the car have been severely injured or killed. 2 men named Troy McHenry and William Eschred were racing each other in cars that had parts of Little Bastard in them, including the engine and drivetrain. Troy's car smashed into a tree, killing him instantly, before Williams rolled, severely injuring him. But in perhaps the strangest twist of events since these incidents, the car has vanished and his current whereabouts is still unknown. Good luck next time you're looking for a used car. I'm sure it's going to be fine. Number 5 is Timur's Tomb Curse. King Timur is historically known for his great conquests across Persia and Russia from 1370 to 1405, which resulted in the deaths of approximately 17 million people. Upon his death, he was laid to rest in Uzbekistan with the words engraved on his tomb, "When I arise, the world will tremble." Hundreds of years later, in 1941, Joseph Stalin, the leader of the Soviet Union, sent archaeologists to exhume Timur's body. Just 24 hours after opening his tomb, the Nazis launched Operation Barbarossa and invaded the USSR. After an entire year and 7.5 million Soviet deaths, Timur was eventually returned to his resting place, just in time to see the Nazis surrender at Stalingrad. Number 6 is King Tut's curse. Perhaps the most famous curse known today involves the discovery and opening of Egyptian King Tutankhamun's tomb. The tomb was opened on November 29, 1922, and not long after, several members of the discovery team, including the chief financier for the excavation, died. A total of 8 people involved in King Tut's discovery lost their lives in mysterious and bizarre ways, including severe fever, asphyxiation, arsenic poisoning, and infected mosquito bites. Number 7 is the cursed phone number. In one of the most bizarre cases of an alleged curse, every single person who has ever owned the cursed phone number 0888-888-888 has died. The phone number was created in 2001 by a Bulgarian mobile phone company called Mobitel and was used by the owner and CEO of the company until he died of cancer the same year. The number was then transferred to a mob boss who was shot and killed while out for dinner in 2003. Ultimately, the last person to have the number was a Bulgarian businessman who was also shot and killed while out for dinner in 2005. Because of these uncanny and morbid coincidences, which many attribute to the phone number, Mobitel has since put the number on an indefinite suspension so that it can do no more harm to those who use it. Number 8 is the curse of Tippecanoe. The Battle of Tippecanoe was fought on November 7, 1811, which saw the defeat of Native American leader Tecumseh by American President William Henry Harrison. Shockingly, every 20 years since, almost every president has died in either a terrible or unnatural way, all starting with Harrison, who died of pneumonia in 1840. The next cursed president was Abraham Lincoln, who was elected in 1860 and was assassinated. James A. Garfield, who was elected in 1880, and William McKinley in 1900 were both assassinated as well. Lastly, John F. Kennedy was elected in 1960 and was assassinated. It's said that the last president to have been affected by the curse but who survived it was Ronald Reagan, who just barely survived an assassination attempt on him after he was elected in 1980. Number 9 is the Nepalese royal family curse. The Nepalese monarchy was said to be cursed long ago when the first king of Nepal offended a yogi named Goraknath. The yogi declared that the monarch's family's reign would end after only 10 generations on the throne. Now, these words may not have held much value except for the fact that exactly 200 years later, on June 1st, 2001, the Nepalese crown prince Dipendra, armed with multiple machine guns, murdered his mother, his father, and 7 other members of the royal family before eventually turning the guns on himself. Dipendra was the 10th generation to be crowned king. And number 10 is the Omen Curse. The infamous 1975 movie about the Antichrist was said to be more than just a scary movie. Death and misfortune plagued the set during production. Just a few weeks before filming started, lead actor Gregory Peck's son committed suicide. 3 of the film crew were on separate planes that were all struck by lightning, and during another flight, a private plane used for the film crashed on a populated road, killing everyone aboard and on the road. But perhaps the strangest occurrence happened when 2 special effects artists were involved in a car crash. In one of the most chilling instances, one of the artists who was decapitated met his end close to a nearby sign that read Omen, 66.6 kilometers. Just something to think about next time you want to watch this movie. So, 10 real-life curses that killed people. Were these merely coincidence, or do you think that there's something more? Leave a comment below. I want to know what you guys have to say. I'll be responding to as many of you as possible, and I'll see you in the next video.